We are live once again. It is the Wrestling for Life Network, and we are here on a Wednesday night. We're looking forward to it, folks. We got AEW Dynamite on tap. We're ready to go. We got lots to get into. Stacked card again tonight. The two faces you see below me on the screen will be in action in different matches. We will see how it goes. We're going to talk a lot of wrestling. We're going to have a lot of fun. And thank you for joining us. By the way, we got a special celebration to get to, but we'll talk about that too. Ding, ding, ding. We are live. We are live. And I got pyro. So that means the show is kicking off, not only for AEW, but also for us here at the Wrestling for Life Network. We are ready to go, folks. As always, if you didn't know, I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, the man that just keeps coming back for more. Big shout out to Big Nick, Cliff, and this man. We'll get to it right away. I'm not even going to wait, but this man. I hope you're watching.
Happy birthday!
Accusations. I love it.
Bugs, you probably get yourself a hot dog and a water bottle. The reason why I'm so hard in the paint for this is because of this. Right here has become the official cut the shit moment for me up today.
Happy birthday!
That's right, folks. It is Mr. CJ Brand's birthday, and don't tell anybody, but he turned 50 today, so we need to celebrate CJ turning the big 5-0. I'm just kidding, but happy birthday to CJ. He's been a huge part of this channel, so we are nothing but grateful. We hope he's out there having a wonderful, marvelous day and feeling good on his special day. But with that being said, folks, Dynamite is kicking off. MJF is on his way out to the ring, and we will start taking predictions right away, folks. I'll quickly get to the chat before the action starts, but Damien, how you doing? What's up, Steve G? Hope you're doing well. Ronnie's here. Mike, welcome back. C Money's in the house. Kayla, how are you? How are you? Boss Monster, always a pleasure. Look at this man, showing out everybody. What's up, Boss Monster? So some love back. I mean, that's deserving after all those shout outs. And then my buddy Scott, thank you for the donation, sir. Thank you for a little bit of super chat. But I met Sabu on the cruise. He is going to a podcast. All right. Send him to this podcast, Mr. Sabu. No, that's amazing, Scott. I hope you had a good time on the cruise. Of course, the pictures are circulating of, Jericho Housen. Chris Housen, what does he call himself? I don't know. But we did see him in the makeup. We did see him, another gimmick. The man has to jump on something hot. But listen, it is what it is. It's his cruise, so I guess he can do what he wants to do. But with all that being said, folks, make sure you get your predictions into the chat for all the matches. Stay to the end of the night. We will take your rating out of 10 as well. And if you didn't know, we do this all week long. We will be back tomorrow. We have Impact Wrestling 2 weeks in a row. We have now picked up Thursdays. We're going to take over Thursdays. We might as well. We're taking over the other days. So we will be here for Impact. Luna Havoc will be returning, our special guest host. We're looking forward to Luna being back on the channel. Friday doubleheader. Saturday we got 2 shows. Sunday we got the Super Bowl. Lots to talk about and lots to get into. That's going to be a good time. Can't wait for the Super Bowl party. I'll let the cat out of the bag on my end. Go Chiefs. But other than that, we're going to have a good time. Looking forward to Brian, Danielson, and Rush tonight. Yeah, I mean, Brian's going through a series of matches. We've seen this before. We've seen it simultaneously before. They've kind of gone to the well with this idea a few times. But with that being said, yeah, I don't think everybody, if you're just strictly an American product fan, and you don't see a lot of outside of like AEW or WWE, not everyone might have the best understanding of Rush and who he is and what he brings to the table. But I'm telling you right now, the guy's got a lot of talent. If he hasn't shown it in AEW yet, he's definitely got more than we've seen. So do keep that in mind. I think him and Danielson, I mean, Danielson brings out the best in a lot of people. Bryan has a lot of really, really good matches. I think this one's going to be no different. And beyond that, I mean, MJF, Takashka, to say it properly, I almost need Nick here to fill in that one. But yeah, man. I'm going to watch MLW later. I'm impressed. I like MLW Box Monster. There's a lot of upside there. So stay tuned. We're going to keep an eye on it as well. But yeah, I'm super excited that MLW has found a way to get, more eyes on their product. I think once a lot of people who haven't seen MLW see it, they'll want to see it more. What else we got here? Howdy Fears Hausen. There you go. I like it. I like it. There's the match for Mania. Danhausen versus our buddy Howdy. Now we still don't know who Howdy is, but we will find that out as well, folks. We're going to take off from here. Raw ratings were 1.8 million viewers. Ooh. Not bad. A little bit of a dip, but still pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a night that people were anticipating, but you'd like to see that number stay up above 2, and it didn't, Dale. So, yeah, not a bad night for Raw, but you kind of want to see it really. I mean, I don't expect to get back to the heydays of, 5 and 6 million, but if you can push around 3, especially for your top 2 shows in Raw and SmackDown, I think a lot of people would feel a lot better off. Never Fear Larry is here. Welcome back, Larry. Thank you for being here tonight. And I will give you guys an update as soon as my shit cooperates. There you go. There you go. Now, what else do we got going on right now? We do have the Elite in action tonight. They're going to take on AR Fox and Top Flight. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that match goes. I mean, we're anticipating. Anybody think that Top Flight has a chance? Probably not. It'd be a shock. Dun, dun, dun. MJF getting shredded. He's working on it. It's his craft, right? So, I mean, he's definitely toned up in the last little while here, especially from when we first started seeing him, Steve. Like, I mean, he's definitely put some effort into it because he used to have a little bit of a muffin. There you go. Some love for CJ. I'll let him know, Steve. I'll let him know. But right now, I got Takashka getting to his feet. True. Takashka's got the hook. All right, folks. Have you got your predictions in? No chance in hell. I got one prediction, kind of. Let me know, folks. Who are you taking? Who do you got tonight? Oh, what the hell was that? Jeez. Wow, take a shit. I taken no prisoners. And again, I'm still not quite sure this is the situation you want your champion in, heading into a big match with somebody that, Bryan's already beat. You would assume that Bryan has more experience than. I mean, let's be real here. But MJF on the floor rolling away from trouble. Dun, dun. Takashita loads up and, stops, folks. MJF rolls back in to avoid Takashita. Takashka. MJF's first match in 2 months. How do you feel about that? I mean, he is the champ. That's kind of a champ schedule. All right, we got MJF back in control now and working on that arm, folks. Don't be shy. Don't be quiet. MJF is basically a promo guy. I would say he's more known for his promos at this point. I mean, he's had some good matches. I wouldn't rule that out. But again, with a young guy, a young champion, you do want to see him, put his work in. Now, every time we've seen him, he's been good to great. So I can't really knock it, Steve. But again, it's kind of, even before he was the champion, he didn't get booked a whole lot to wrestle. And I think kind of like what we talked about with Bray Wyatt is you got to wrestle. You got to wrestle. You got to give us matches. It's got to tie into the wrestling in some way, shape, or form. Rush has done nothing for me. There you go. That's the thing with Rush. He came in and he's highly touted. I mean, the same thing with Andrade. Hasn't been used very well. Hasn't got a whole lot of love. Hasn't got a whole lot of push. It's interesting. It really is interesting to me that, you sign certain athletes, but you don't. Wow. Oh, what? Takeshita with the clothesline from the top. MJF lands it. Whew. They exchange forearms and Takeshita hits another clothesline. Both men are down, but wow. MJF lands it and nails a super kick on the money. Right? Shit. Folks, if your friends aren't watching this match, go get them. Oh, rolls into the salt of the earth. Takeshita biting down. Oh, so is MJF. Andrade isn't that good. Even in NXT, Garza carried him. Nah, Steve, you're wrong, buddy. You go back, watch Andrade with going one-on-one with Gargano. You watch Andrade against McIntyre, and then go back even further and watch Andrade prior to NXT. The man can wrestle. The man has it in his blood. He has lineage. Andrade, he needs a heater. Him with Zelina Vega, money in the bank. It worked perfectly. However, since then, not so much. He needs a heater. That's all he needs. But in the ring, he is outstanding. Damian throwing up some flames. Damian, what's that for? Is it for the match? Is it for Andrade? What are we talking about here? We got a This Is Awesome chant, by the way, folks. Oh, MJF just rolls out. Hey, Earl. Been a minute. How you doing? Hey. All right, MJF on the ground. We counting. Takeshita rolling up to get him. This match is awesome. Folks, let me know in the chat right now. Are you enjoying this match? Did AEW kick off the show in the right way? Different. I Del Rio, I never got behind. Even El Patron, I never got anything from him. And realistically, there's similar other wrestlers out there that have some not so pretty past that we don't talk about them, even if they were half decent. So yeah, Rio fits in that category for me overall. I remember another YouTuber interviewed Del Rio and went on like a 4-minute spiel about what a wonderful guy this guy was. If you're going to do an interview with someone, do the research, and it's sitting there praising him publicly. If I saw that on a YouTube channel, I'd bail, but that's me. But yeah, and without the politics, I even just as a straight up wrestler, I never got into Patron. I hate the finisher. I thought he was all right. I never thought he was as good as a lot of other people had made him out to be. Can't believe, he had the run that he did. I never got into him in any way, form. Any way, shape, or form. Steve G, disagree. CJ, disagree totally with you. I've seen CJ, wait a minute. Is CJ in the chat or is it me? I've seen every NXT since debuting. We don't agree here. Not a problem with that at all, Steve. Like I said, big fan of Andrade, and I liked what he did with Selena. I like what he did when he was the NXT champion. I don't know. Anyone's YouTube acting weird? Mine's not acting weird. Anyone else? Okay, gotcha. What's up? KJ, maybe his announcer made him bigger than he was. His announcer? No. I mean, he still had to get in the ring and go, and he can go in the ring. That's what I appreciate. Boss, you know the answer to that question. We all are. Kayla, I'll pass that along to Mr. CJ, or if he's, happens to catch, I'm sure he'll be thrilled to see that people are giving him birthday wishes. But yeah, the big man. I keep joking that he's 50. So anybody want to wish him a happy 50th? That'd be quite funny to me anyway. Yes, the answer. Do you see Mandy Rhodes in AEW in the future, KJ? She was asked by Renee's podcast about that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you're making as much money as she seems to be making to not take bumps, maybe not. However, if the money's right, if the moment's right, if the pitch is correct, if Tony can bring her in, why wouldn't he? I mean, you have to imagine she was one of the bigger stories in recent wrestling history. A champion one night fired. Oh! MJF throws the soul of the earth into a bridge, gives us a couple extra showings, and it's over. Oh, don't worry about typos, Steve. Do them all the time. Big thumbs. Andrade injury is right now, had surgery back in September. Yeah, that's a long stretch, Dale. But yeah, he's been on the shelf for quite a while. Plus, we already knew he was having issues with AEW. Sammy Guevara, he got himself suspended. A lot of people speculated he didn't want to be there anymore. He had kind of said, oh, MJF just laid out the ref. And Takeshita gets a ring in the head. And they rang the bell. Wow. Jim Cornette's going to applaud that. They rang the bell. For younger fans out there, when there used to be excitement and shit going on that wasn't supposed to happen, the ring guy would ring the bell a whole bunch of times. And it just adds to like, oh shit, what's happening? Something on fire? There you go. They're ringing the bell. Finally. I like that. Let's go. Boss monster. What else we got here? Larry got a chuckle. Here comes Brian. MJF running away like he stole something. Right? MJF takes the W, folks. The champ is victorious. How do you guys feel as far as, like, for me, it's a tough position to be in when it comes to, I don't necessarily want, oh, shit. Never mind what I was saying. Takeshita is gushing blood. Yeah, Takeshita got drilled, folks. He's better than us, and we know it. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he might be. Screw Mandy Rhodes. There is better in AEW locker room. Is there? I mean, Mandy Rhodes. Rhodes. Yeah, she changed. Brandy changed with Mandy. Here we go. Brandy Rose. The thing with wow, I said it backwards again. Mandy is that she has champion pedigree now. She had a really successful run in NXT. Is she the flashiest of wrestlers? Nope. Is she a phenomenal looking woman? Absolutely. And she proved that she can work. She can work as a heel really, really well. I don't know about a babyface Mandy, but she can be a heel. You put her in the ring with a Brit, and she can exchange a little. I think for the sheer PR, the marketing, the eyeballs, getting views, clicks, I think Mandy Rose would be a good signing. What they do with her? Well, I mean, that's whatever. Stand. I don't understand title eliminator matches. I don't like them. I don't get it. I don't know where they came from, why they started, why we're having them, why they're doing them. I have no idea, folks. Anyone out there got a clue? Or anyone else out there think, well, I think this is a good thing. Just to keep you updated, by the way, we're getting a replay of Joe gaining back his title. Seemed really weird to take it off of him and give him back. Like, did he hurt his shoulder for a couple weeks and you needed someone else to carry it? I don't know why. But obviously, Wardlow made his presence felt. And Wardlow now chasing down Joe. And here comes the bunny. She'll be taking on Jamie Hayter tonight. And let me know why you taking Jamie Hayter. I don't understand. The eliminator matches, they suck. They're dumb. Like, to me, it would be the equivalent of, going into a UFC title fight or a boxing title fight and winning, and they say, congratulations, now you got to beat him again. Why? I just did. Like, to me, if you put it on TV and you're going to go one-on-one with the champ and you pin him, that's your belt. It's dumb. They used to do number one contendership matches. Do you guys remember those? I mean, we still get them, but they're generally like fatal four-ways and battle royals. But just one-on-one, winner becomes number one contender. That's how it's done. And considering Tony preached, we're going to go sports-based. We're going to go sports-based. The records matter. Make them matter then. Make them matter. Right? Top two records, they fight. And then you fill out your rankings. All right, you beat number 2, you go to number 3. Like, let's figure this out. But an eliminator matches are dumb. Plus, I mean, even from the arc of storytelling, we as fans, for me, I'm like, I already saw him win. Like, usually, if Mick Foley had won the title the week, or beat the champion the week before to get the title shot, you diminish your pop because you're like, I just saw this last week. I know he can beat him. Part of the allure is, I wonder if he can win. Well, we know he can win or she can win. Why are we doing this? So I think from every aspect of what you're trying to offer the fans for wrestling, I don't think it's the best way to go. I really, really don't. Take a shit, have got busted wide open. That ring to the head. Oh, Bunny with a handshake and a head tilt. Oh, what did she change her name to? She's running with Fatu. But yes, folks, if I haven't clicked on it yet, get your predictions in, folks. Jamie Hayter, we got Hayter for the win. Jamie for the win. You're going Bunny. Oh, boss. Now who's smoking the funny stuff? Never seen Mandy wrestle. She had an Adam Cole run in NXT. That's a good way to put it, actually, Earl. I mean, and she did all right, though. Like, she does well as a heel. She slows down the match. She picks the opponent apart. I think she's all right. I mean, there's far worse than her in wrestling, and currently in the WWE, NXT, and AEW, there's women that aren't as talented as her and don't offer the full package that she does. So, I mean, they're never say never. And do keep in mind, there's still some debate about how all that played out. Wow. Bunny with the head scissors over the rope. Almost a tarantula. Didn't grab the arms, though. Now, the Bunny's a lady that surprises. I've seen her get in the ring. We kind of don't take her serious. And then she turns out a pretty good match. So we'll see. This match might surprise a little bit, folks. Got Jamie Hayter for the win. All right. I actually want Bunny to win. Starting to like her faction. Fair enough. Listen, I think Butcher and the Blade are being completely underutilized. I think someone else just threw that up in the chat as well. But I think Butcher is an underutilized talent. He's a beast. And he's part of the handful of people that just come in and out and work on this like mercenary basis. I don't know why. I think they're good. I mean, if you actually had your shit together and the tag team division was rolling along, I think they would be great. But the tag team division kind of fell apart. I don't like Casino Royale or Royal Rumble either. When winner gets a title shot, I just don't agree with it. Steve, me and you aren't on the same page at all tonight, sir. I like Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble was always one of my favorite pay-per-views. I like it. It's different. I like chaos. If when you do it right and the crowd's into it and you have reasons for the crowd to be on their feet all the damn time, yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. The problem I have with the casino battle royales is we have seen them too often. Now, I will say in recent memory, there hasn't been as much, but absolutely, I enjoy a good battle royal. I do. I actually want Bunny to win. Got that one. Number one contenders match over eliminators, 100%. It is the dumbest thing in AEW. Yeah, I fucking hate it. Like, and I've already went on a rant about it, but even Dale agrees. It's tough, guys. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. There's no other sport out there that you like, you win to beat them again. I mean, again, you want to do a 7-match series like the Bucks, go ahead. But there's no way that you should beat the champion and then get a rematch for it. Dumb. Dumb. Oh. And they do them a lot where it's like you knew Takashka wasn't going to become like a number one contender at this particular time. So that kind of dumbs down the whole situation anyway. And he ends up losing because he should lose. So just take the whole eliminator title off it. Just call it a match and let the champion prove he's the champion. And I'd like him to do it a little more convincing. Like Takashka came off like a fucking gem in this match. I think they've done things as of late to take a little bit of that shine off MJF. And I know my buddy with the scarf isn't here tonight, but man, MJF was fired. He was drilling everything. And then he came back, and then he won the belt, and things start getting weird because now you're relying on good booking. You're relying on make your champion interesting. I don't mind what's happening with Brian, but people start talking about MJF only hitting low-hanging fruit. He's a good promo. What else does he bring to the table? Is he just repeating himself? Why, again, it's all in your angles. And your champion's in the hallway having a brawl. He had his number one contenders in the ring. It doesn't make sense. You take away the attention of the audience. You don't focus or funnel your audience in the direction you want them to go. Is haterade. Britt Baker gets a sign of her own. Holy, this Dynamite is fire. Justin feeling it tonight. I think I saw someone else praising this. There you go. Freebird. Good name. Good name. What a Dynamite today. Good start. I did like the match. And you know what? Oh, that was a botch and then some. I was just about to say this match has been pretty all right. Now they did just botched and I don't know, Bunny's down. That looked painful. Ripcord Lariat. 3. That was a bit of a... It always sucks when you have a botch right before the finish. I think a more experienced wrestler might consider, picking the person up and trying something else, a quick Irish whip into something simple before going into the finisher, because you just came into the finisher on such a flat spot. But yeah, decent match, pretty quick, but a decent match. And as it stands right now, folks, Hater's still your champion, and she's still friends with Britt, and Reba's still hanging around. Freebird, the men's rumble did not deliver to expectation. I will agree with that 100%. I think the women's rumble was great, and the Sammy stuff was great. Overall, not a great rumble. And we said that the night of. It didn't deliver, and that's unfortunate. Gianna Purrazzo is a free agent January. Where do you see her going after Impact Wrestling? AEW, WWE. Now, I mean, there's a case for both. We know Deonna Purrazzo's close with Britt Baker. We know Deonna Purrazzo's close with Chelsea Green. We know that potentially when Chelsea's walked out of Impact and said, I'm going home. Oh, wait. Sorry, distracted. I'll get back to that point. We got Soraya, Tony Storm. Wow, that was horrific. This was so bad. Holy. I didn't say it. I thought it, but I didn't say it. What was that? We haven't seen the librarian in forever. First. Second, I just saw why, because she couldn't even sell that. Third, it was such a weird, awkward. It was like a bad, like sea-level movie, like a fucking horror movie. Like, oh no, I tripped and fell. Please don't spray paint me. Let me wiggle over so I'm in the perfect position. What? What just happened? That was awful. That wasn't good. So now Soraya and Tony Storm have become the NWO of the women's division in AEW, and they've decided to spray paint L's on people. And I think that was fitting because that segment was a loss, a huge loss. That was fucking bad, folks. Anyone out there thought that was good? Am I crazy? Anyone else out there going, wait a minute? That was excellent. I really enjoy Soraya and Tony and what they're doing, because I don't know. I was a diehard Paige fan before she went away, and that sucked. I want to see Abaddon and Jamie Hayter. The only time they seem to want to use Abaddon is Halloween. So good luck. Mark, I'm with you, buddy. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. And anyone else I haven't said hi to yet, C Money, Larry, Dale. I know I said about hi to a bunch on the way in the door. Justin as well, Freebird, Earl, everybody. Thank you for being here. We love when you guys show up, and we appreciate everyone coming out to these streams. Billy turns on the Acclaimed. I think so. I think it's a mistake. I think it's too soon. And are they, again, another example, are the Acclaimed starting to fizzle out? Do you like the Acclaimed? Have you ever liked the Acclaimed? And if you did like the Acclaimed, are you starting to lose a little bit of interest? I don't know if the Ass Boys were the right team to put them in with. And the family therapy session was stupid, unnecessary, a weird, I don't know what they did with it. And yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is a tough sell for me. Soraya's a natural heel. She's not coming off like a natural heel, though, Earl. It's not going well. Bad segment. I agree with Dale. That was choppy waters. What's up, Thomas? Good to see you. Hagen, welcome back. There is an awakening tonight on AEW. Ooh, sounds ominous. Let's go. I want to see somebody awoke. Think I get where you're going, Larry. We'll see. What else we got here? Oh, everybody in agreement. Everyone having a good mood. Everyone's kind of agreeing with each other. Folks, I will take this moment to remind everybody we are on commercial break. We got AEW Dynamite. We're rolling through halfway through the first hour, and it's been a pretty good start. I mean, the opening match was great. This is awesome chance. Good energy from MJF to Koshka. MJF ends up getting the win and leaving Koshka bleeding. Brian comes out to the rescue. And now we will see what happens in Brian's match with Roosh tonight. Up next, we have the Elite taking on AR Fox and Top Flight. So we will get your predictions on that as well. But folks, thank you for being here. I will remind everybody, we are back tomorrow for Thursday Night Impact. We are taking over Thursdays. We gave Thursdays a break. But last week, we got 1K views on a Thursday. That's good enough for me. We will be back tomorrow with Luna Havoc, very special guest host. Can't wait to see her back. Have a lot of fun with my fellow Canadian. And we're going to take over the channel. We're going to do what we do. And Impact's card tomorrow is stacked. So tune in for that. It's It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good time. And then Friday, doubleheader Friday, tune in. It's going to be another good stream. Myself, Big Nick, back in action. The dynamic duo will be here live. And then Saturday, we got the J Cup, session 1 in the afternoon, session 2 in the evening. We keep going, so do not miss out. It's going to be a great weekend, and we're going to cap it all off with a Super Bowl party, because when the channel that just runs out of wrestling to watch, because we watch all of it, we'll, let's just cover some football. Commentators, I meant, where announcers table looks nice. Okay. I was talking to you. I missed it. He's still wearing that mask. There you go, boss. That's what we do. That's what we do. Even the neighbors want to come in and knock on the door. Bye-bye now. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega for the win. Oh no, Jericho's match is next. My bad. I thought they just called the trios title. My bad. Well, in less exciting news, Chris Jericho's up next, apparently. Takashka was good, Hagen. I completely agree with you. He's been good. He's been surprising. He's he's shown up, and you can't really find a lot of flaws in what he's done, and they've used him well. They put him in good spots. Like I said, this whole situation is good for him. The champion's talking about him. Brian's talking about him. He has a stellar match with Brian. He has a great match with the champion. He's not even involved in the storyline, but he comes out looking the best out of everybody so far. So it's good. I like it. It's great, but it's not the best for the story. Why is the champion wasting his time talking about a newcomer from DDT when he could be talking about, a legend who's coming after his belt, right? You guys remember when, Austin would come out and cut a promo on fucking Scotty 2 Hotty before his match with The Rock? Not often. Not often. MJF is just digging in. You guys listening to this? It's a gauntlet match. Yeah, it's Jericho, and he's got it's the Sammy Danny fucking gauntlet. Jericho's That's what it was, Earl. Thank you. I called him Jared Chokeson. Didn't have the same ring. KJ, if Jericho wins, the Awakening goes to sleep. Yeah. I might go to sleep if Jericho wins. How about that, Larry? I swear if Jericho wins, I'm changing my underwear. And I don't want that. I don't know what to say, boss. I mean, I would recommend doing that. I try and do it on a daily. But how about if win or lose, I think that's a good idea, sir. I don't know if you're going the right way with that, but we'll take a pause on it. Damien, our favorite guy on the road. Bloodsport 9 and Multi-Universe United, March 30th. Will Ospreay versus Speedball. Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander versus Kushida. It's Impact versus New Japan. Speedball is on both shows. Listen, guys. The end of March and the beginning of April here on this channel is going to be live. It is going to be insane. You are going to see a shit ton of us on this channel. We will be here, just like last year, we will be here for Bloodsport. We will be here for GCW. We will be here for the multiverse of matches, which now is going to be a Forbidden Door style collision between New Japan and Impact Wrestling. We are going to be on a lot. And here comes Coke and Diet Coke 2.0 if you're new to the channel. But we all assume that Ricky Starks is going to win the gauntlet, right? Because that's where this eventually ends, where he gets through a whole bunch of challenges and then Jericho beats him. What a promo by MJF, says Freebird. AEW going all out today. I'm glad you think so. I mean, I've enjoyed it. Pretty good start to all this, Freebird. I thought the Bunny and Hater were good. Bunny looked outmatched. She got beat by the champion pretty quick and decisively. I'm all about it. The only thing on this show that I did not like to this point was Saraya and Tony Storm. And man, the librarian been hanging around AEW for like 3-4 years now, and she couldn't even make that look at all like she might have got really hit. Like, what was that nonsense all about? Anybody? Whew, that's tough, man. That was awful. I don't see Starks getting through the gauntlet. He will lose to Sammy. Then what, though? Mark, what happens if he loses? What do you do with him if he loses? Like, Ricky Starks has to get this W. Ricky Starks needs this W. Ricky Starks, I mean, you don't want him to fade. And I hate the fact, and you can correct me if I'm wrong out there, folks, I hate the fact that Jericho is in this feud. And it's every time somebody heats up, Jericho swoops in like Count Dracula and just sucks the living smoke right out of them. Pause. That one's for Nick. Gauntlet match on right now. Yes, it is. I was wrong. I thought trios. I stand corrected. All right, folks. If you have not got your predictions in yet, get them in, get them in, get them in. I apologize for my little pause, but needed to wet the whistle. Pause. That was a definite pause. That was a solid pause for sure, Larry. Starks gets rid of Diet Coke pretty quick. Here comes Coke. A guy that's actually become one of my favorite dudes kicking around. He makes me laugh. Wow, another roll up. 2 down, 2 to go. That's what you get for trying to grab your drink live. Missed my mouth almost. All right, so here comes Danny. You really giving these men separate entrances? Just put them all at the ring at the same fucking time. What are we wasting time for? So Coke and Diet Coke job out in an instant. So there we go. I have noticed AEW pushing their guys about time, and I'm enjoying the matches with the storylines. I think they've been good. Freebird, I think the last while they've been good. I mean, I didn't. Oh, wait. So here comes Sammy. Danny doesn't seem happy about it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, last week wasn't my favorite episode or the favorite show that we got as of recent. But I mean, I think for the vast majority of the shows over the last handful of weeks have definitely picked it up and solid. They've been pretty good. I'm into the stories. Even what they were doing with Paige and Moxley, I was into. I don't think the payoff was what I wanted it to be. But here we are tonight. And I don't mind the MJF Bryan story. I just think Takashka being wedged in the middle and in the way is not best. It's generally not how you do it. Like you want a rivalry. You don't want the champion busy with someone else with another baby face. You don't want you run that risk. Now in Bryan's case, it's less of a risk, but they started maybe we want Takashka to have the belt. Look what the WWE is going through right now. Cody wins the Rumble. We knew he was going to win the Rumble. He's going to Mania. We knew he was going to go to Mania, but fans kind of want Sammy to win. We got a problem, Houston. I bet you were going to get Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks at Revolution. Yes, Damian. A hundo. That's what we're building to. Somebody said that, Starks was going to lose due to the Jericho Society getting involved. I actually think it's the opposite. I think Ricky Starks is going to win, and I think he's going to win because of Action Andrade. Andretti? Andretti. Action Jobber. There we go. Little reminder, we are getting Roosh and Danielson coming up tonight, and we're also getting the Elite and Top Flight and AR Fox. So we'll see what that does. It should be an action-packed match, actually. Has 2.0 actually gained anything from joining JAS? No. It's the same thing as Santana and Ortiz. It was the same thing as FTR and the Pinnacle. They're just there. They're patsies. They're putts. All four of these men who Jericho is telling the world, look what I'm doing for these young athletes. I'm getting them over and I'm leading the way. I am Noah. Follow me 2 by 2. It's not the case. Literally, they're just cannon fodder. They're just there. They're filler. And every time Jericho has a beef, you got to beat up his friends to beat him up. That's it. So, I don't even know what the question was. Yeah, so they're jobbers. They haven't done much. Again, another team where once in a while, give them a tag match. Remind us they can win a wrestling match. Right now, they just hang out with Jericho as these men slap the shit out of each other. Oh, let me go up. Let's see what I missed. Remember, folks, if I miss one of your questions, and feel free to light your box up, light your message box up with a super chat or a super sticker, like my man Justin here. Thank you, sir. We much appreciate it. AEW doing some crazy moves and enjoying it. They're building. And I mean, it's pivotal. I always looked at AEW like an expansion sports team. Generally, unless you're the Vegas Knights, because hockey makes weird rules. When you get an expansion team, they take a while to develop, to grow. When you're rebuilding a sports team, it takes a couple years. You don't just instantly do it. You get your one-offs, you get your flukes. So year one, Tony gets the team together and he's all excited. They do all right. And people are excited, so they kind of overachieve by expectation because we were just excited. Then we kind of settle in and we want a little bit more. We want it to kind of stabilize and progress. Year two, now you're working out the kinks. You get some inner fighting. As the company grows, you got guys like Janela and Sonny Kiss and others that had to move on because they didn't fit anymore. So you see those growing pains. You see that with all teams. A couple of the original players get traded off or released because they need to improve. They need to get better. You head into year three. Now you should start turning a corner. And I think a lot of fans got a little concerned, or at least I got concerned, watching them go in through 2022. And it seemed like they had hit a rut. And I don't know if it was just the infighting was causing a lot of problems. Maybe Tony did get a little insecure or off track because of injuries. Triple H taking over seemed to kind of jolt the situation for a little bit. And the momentum did swing the other way for a while, where everybody was jazzed that Triple H was there. So you got year 4, you got year 5. Right now, we're in that process. You have to have a solid, established business and team as you hit that 5 years and you get in that groove. So there's a lot of forgiveness for me. And you'll hear me complain about the booking. You'll hear me complain about some of the decision-making. But a lot of it I attribute to rookie mistakes. Remember, Tony Khan wasn't a wrestling guy. He was a wrestling fan. He was like you and I. But that was like one of us right now take over booking for one of the major shows. We have the same resume that Tony Khan had. Actually, we might have more experience because we weren't loaded rich and we actually had to interact with people on a different level. However, he seems like a really nice guy. He seems like he's learning. I think one of the biggest downfalls of AEW has been that core group that, you've heard it, right? CM Punk talked about it. If you don't want to listen and learn, you just bring your same shit to the table and you want to do your shit, but you got to put it on the table and make it work all together. You got to bring that meal. You need all the ingredients to talk to each other. And if you don't learn and progress, you do the same shit you were doing 5 years ago, and we get tired of it. I've seen a lot of V-triggers. I've seen a lot of super kick parties. You got to up that game. You got to up that level. And if you don't, you end up just booking matches for you and your friends, and the product suffers for it. Like Jericho. That was long-winded. Did I answer that efficiently, guys? If Young Bucks got back when AEW first started, they could be good in WWE. Yes and no. And I'll give you a quick update, folks, because we are the alternative commentary. So I will let you know that right now we got Starks on the apron. We got, there you go, Danny on the apron with them, swinging back and forth. The thing about the Bucks is this. Nobody can deny they're talented. They're athletic. They're acrobatic. However, the criticism's true. A lot of their matches are just friends playing in the backyard. Our guys just goofing off. The ref doesn't matter. There's no rules. There's no proper tag ins, tag out. They don't understand heat spots. They don't really understand. They don't seem to understand the psychology or how to tell a story. They just go in there and do a bunch of tricks, and that's the match. And it's exciting. It's entertaining. Oh, what the fuck? A fan just hit Ricky Starks? Is that Uno? Whoever it is, he's awfully little. Nobody's quite sure what happened. It was deep some. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it was interesting. That's for sure. Ricky is over. I'm assuming that's Jericho. What the fuck? Yeah, Y2J. That is beautiful, Larry. Like, duh. It looked like Uno. Sorry, Jericho. Oh, my Lord. Isn't the babyface supposed to, like, overcome the adversity to get the win? So Starks looks like an asshole again. I know I went a little quiet there, folks. I'm just a little surprised how all of this played out. It's just me, or is Jericho's face looking like a powdered donut right now? Sonic Boom. Yes, yes, yes. Are those yeses for what we're watching right now with Jericho, or are they yeses for, Brian? Yeah, that sucked. That sucked. Ooh, come on, folks. Am I wrong? How do we feel about that whole situation? That was flat ass. Who's your favorite AEW Women's Champion so far? They've had KJ. Listen, the answer is simple. Seems like a bit of a cop-out maybe, but it's been Britt. I mean, she's had the most significant run. She had the most impactful run. She set the tone for the women's division. And honestly, since Britt, I don't think anyone's had a good run. I don't think anyone's been booked the way Britt was booked. We got Billy and the Acclaimed in the back, by the way. Yeah, that was thumbs down. I agree with Damien. That's the horror awful, folks. Like, what are we doing? Again, it's this moment where, again, Jericho will tell everybody, oh, see how far, like how much I did for that kid? Where does Ricky Starks go from here? Obviously, he's going to want revenge, but yeah, you just, I don't know. And if I'm right, if Ricky beats Garcia, he has to fight Sammy, but he didn't even make it there. He didn't make it to like almost got the win. You put him through a gauntlet, he loses, but generally that means you lost, bro. You don't get a shot at Jericho or a title, whatever the circumstances are. Generally, when you lose, and that's why I'm surprised. I assumed that the baby face would prevail, that like we're going to get it. Like, legitimately thought that's where the W was going to be. Like, am I wrong in thinking that? Then now, poor Ricky Starks looks like a schmuck that just got. Everyone's gonna say, yeah, but the heel got a cheap win. Jericho, 1992 called. They want their fucking angles back. Riho. Jericho booking 101. Ding. Thank you, Earl. I agree. KJ, there's still 7 weeks left to squeeze Sammy in the mix. Okay. That is true. And that is one of the interesting parts. And we do forget that sometimes. But that puts the challenge on the booker. The booker's got to sit down and go, okay, I got 7 weeks. And even prior to this, okay, I got 12 weeks to figure this shit out. I have to build the arcs to these stories in the right places. And that also includes, know what wouldn't fucking hurt Jericho at all? Know what would be great for Chris Jericho? Just stay home for a week. We see him on almost every fucking Dynamite. We see him on, then we hear him on Rampage. Jericho, take a fucking nap. I mean, fuck. Like, that's the problem. You're trying to tell me that this guy like built up the ROH championship and you booked him in the main event spot every week. It didn't. It didn't do it. But we are subjected to it every week. Where's Hobbs? Where's Wardlow? Where's Miro? Where's FTR? I know they chose to take a sabbatical, but we all kind of surmise why. And I get it. They're playing a very good, let's not burn this bridge and play a very nice political game right now. But listen, FTR is another one. Andrade's out on the shelf. Guys, I mean, I love the show. I love watching AEW. I love that there's an alternative to WWE programming. I just want some of this shit to make a little more sense, fit together nicer. And you can't just let the wrestlers do whatever they want. Somebody has to say, no, Chris, that's fucking stupid. And nobody wants to see it. This is what we're going to do. And if you don't do that, then you get angles like this that just for 3 years, everything was fed Jericho's way. Everything. And I know what he meant to AEW. I know he was an important signing. But guys, realistically, do we want to keep seeing him on the shows? Do we want to still see the same stupid fucking angles over and over? And even when he lets a guy like MJF go over, he gets his comeuppance. He gets his comeback. Or he's going to lose a cage match. You know what? Throw me off into a bunch of pillows. Then this way everyone's talking about me, not the guy that pushed me. It's always served Jericho. Then people are going to go on about the best year of his career. Then one of the best wrestlers. Fuck off. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a great guy. He's a good wrestler. I don't even know if he's a great guy. He's a good wrestler. But you're old and you're stealing everyone's heat. You're taking everyone's gimmicks. You're rinsing and repeating recycled gimmicky bullshit that he probably would have hated when he first came into the WWE. I can't take away what he's done. And that is like a 7-minute Jericho rant, by the way. But that's it. I mean, I'm a big fan, but Jericho, it's you got to call a spade a spade. Everybody that gets a little bit of babyface heat, Jericho swoops on in and wants a piece of it. Kills it and thinks he did wonderful. See what I did for Eddie? Yeah, fuck off. Starks had that sudden job to Hobbs on pay-per-view too. That was a timing issue, I imagine. Still never made sense. And they never really went back to it. They were just like, it happened. So I think Starks is a star. I think he's a young star that has a lot of upside. And people were like, oh, did you know he went to see Cody at the Rumble? Yeah, it doesn't mean shit. People go see other people's show all the time. But I will say this. He's like this with Cody. They're friends. They're buddies. Yeah, why wouldn't Cody say, like, they're treating me like a star and, you know, we don't have to do much. Like, man, it's not a bad gig. They pay me a lot. You should come here. At least you'll get booked. At least we'll know where to put you. Right. So real quick, just to give you guys an update, because I know I've been rambling for quite a while at this point. We have MJF limping out to the ring, bandaged his knee. Roosh is in the ring already. He's coming to see Aubrey. And Daniel Bryan has been locked in a closet with Takeshita. Pause. MJF again. As it should be, boss. The one thing WWE definitely does better than AEW, not the one thing, but one thing they do better, is they weave it. They weave it really well. And so like the Sammy Roman shit all through the story. So I like when the champions weave through the show. You kind of follow it along. Now he's an asshole, according to the crowd. Yes, he did. MJF locked the door. It was deep, man. He went all in, like talking about going 90 and hitting the tree and blood coming down. It was something else, but it was passionate. I didn't hate it. Yes, that was unexpected with MJF. They can't have them lose or have them lose. Yeah. Oh, wait, timeout. So Brian gets through the door. What? So the champion gets to do the count? Aubrey, doing her usual count cadence, which is 1 second every 7 minutes. They're really highlighting how the usual AEW ref counts on a count out. Just like this. We're at 7 and Brian is in. Roosh greets him at the door, though. Yes, that was unexpected, but they can't have him lose. No, not at all. That's where you kind of you don't want him in that kind of match, really. You kind of want him just kind of driving Brian nuts, and if you do put him in a match, you let him get over pretty quick and easy. You let him be dominant. Oh shit, the champ's a badass. He fucks people up. He got a big win tonight, but now he's limping, and it shouldn't be like that. The earlier segment, the person that came out looking the best was Takeshita, and everybody's talking about Takeshita instead of talking about Brian and MJF. That's my only change. Like it all. Love the match. Just, if you want to make it a little bit better, Tony, stop muddying up the waters. Just make it a clear story. Brian Danielson for the win. Yes, folks. Get your predictions in. Brian has made it to the ring, so he has not been counted out, and he is going one-on-one with Roosh. Inconsistent application of the rules by ringing the bell while he's not in the ring. Yeah, I mean, now, if you break it down, and now you're going to get into like the super geek, the super mark of kind of watching and analyzing the wrestling, right? And I mean, we could do that all day long. There are things on both shows and on every wrestling show that we ever watch that could make more sense. I love the ringing of the bell. I love when security comes out and like, they're trying to prevent something, whether it's they're trying to do a pull apart, or, they're just trying to prevent the heel from doing something dastardly. But I like when there's a consistency. And we talk about it with the tag wrestling. I mean, trios is chaos. You might as well just do it tornado style, because you don't call anything. There's no countouts. There's no DQs. People use them, it doesn't happen. Oh! Brian is down and Roosh is laying into him. Huge suplex. He rolls out. MJF is on commentary, by the way, if you're not watching at home. Daniel Bryan for the win. Brian Danielson. So Danielson, yes. Literally, yes. Brian for the win. Allow me some Aubrey. Fair enough. To each their own, boss. The GOAT for the win. I like it. I think Tony Khan punished Ricky Starks for being at the Royal Rumble. Ooh, juicy meatball. Would you jeopardize a story that you were telling on your show to punish somebody? I mean, he didn't really do anything wrong. Somebody took a picture while he was in back. How many times have we seen pictures of different wrestlers at AEW shows? Everyone's like, oh, it happens. They're all friends. It's a different time. It's not the 80s and the 70s and the 60s where, like, you catch two, a baby face and a heel together, and, they got to beat each other up quick. So, it's bullshit. Things have changed in that regard. Do I think it's a big deal? Do I think it's punishable? Nah. I mean, maybe. It'd be sad if it was true, Damian. I mean, you got a guy like Sammy Guevara that I think has been long overdue for some punishment for some of his actions and some of his behavior, with nothing but, more rub and more rub and more rub. So what do I know? Aubrey should get a raise. I don't even know what she's getting paid now, Larry. She might be doing pretty well. I will say, out of the refs in AEW, Aubrey has done very well to stand out, and she's done extremely well at being engaged. She doesn't always call the rules, but that's not her. Like, she's subject to the booking and the story that they're trying to tell. I think what gets missed by especially younger wrestling fans, no offense to the younger folk out there, don't worry, I'll die before you. But to the younger folks, I mean, legitimately, the rules build so much of that story, right? The bad guy can't cheat if the ref isn't calling shit, right? You can't have that build of anticipation. You can't have that angst. Wow, Brian is leaking like a sieve. Whoo! Like a sieve, folks. Wow, Steve. Oh, wait. What happened? What hasn't happened? Lots has happened. Right now, we got Brian, who just bursted out of a small closet looking like the Young Bucks going into CM Punk's room. He kicked that door open, and here we are. He made it to the ring before a countout that MJF demand happened. And beyond that, now he is gushing blood. And again, am I wrong? Am I being picky? Am I overanalyzing when I say your number one contender is in a drag-out brawl with somebody that's been barely booked on this show? I don't know. Wow, Rush looks amazing. Danielson, yeah, he is just fucking donating. Not a botch, Steve. Door was locked outside. Yeah, no, not a botch. MJF had locked the door, and then he had a couple friends hanging around to try and keep. But Takeshita helped Brian escape and get to the ring in time. So I'm just watching the replay. What a beautiful belly to belly off the apron. Brian goes down hard. His face is a crimson mess. Woo! Folks, if you are just tuning in, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. It's not just me. I got some pretty faces on the wall above me. They also do this shindig here with me, and we do this for all the shows. We will be back tomorrow night for Impact Wrestling with special guest host Luna Havoc. Friday, we get SmackDown and Rampage. Saturday, we're covering the J Cup, Session 1 and Session 2. So 2 shows, 2 streams on a Saturday. You know our Saturday streams are always something special. And then Sunday, we're going to do a Super Bowl party. Fuck it. So the wrestling fans, the wrestling friends, we're all going to get together. We're going to bring our smacks. We're going to bring our smacks and our feel-goods and our snacks. Pause. We're going to bring our snacks and our feel-good, and we're going to have a Sunday to remember. Right now, I think it's listed at 4 p.m. We're going to push that to 6 p.m. I don't think we're going to sit around for 2 hours and analyze what's happening. So we will be here at 6 p.m. on Sunday, and we'll be here in the afternoon on Saturday and the evening on Saturday. And of course, then Monday comes and we're going to reset and do it all again, folks. We are the channel that just grinds on a different level. We are 11 months old. We are blowing up, and we can't thank everyone out there enough for all the love we've received in less than a year. We're blown away. We're shocked. We're impressed, and we are grateful. With that being said, Brian is gushing. Rush is in control. Aubrey checking on Brian. I will say this. Does Aubrey Hepburn, oh my God, I always do that with her. Does Ref Aubrey not have one of the best facials in the game? But you know what I mean. Like, she's super expressive. She really is super expressive. Super Bowl party. I can't even do it. I spend way too much time rambling and talking to pull that off. Am I lagging? I don't know. I don't seem to be. Folks in the chat, let Boss Monster know if I'm lagging. I think mentally I'm lagging, but I blame the vitamins for that. There you go. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Hello, Jack. I hate the Chiefs, and the Eagles suck. That's a tough one for you, Dave. Just come hang out with us. It'll be fun. I'm cheering for the Chiefs. Nick's cheering for the Eagles. We'll figure this out. And we do anticipate some people stopping on by, some neighbors knocking on the doors saying hello to the Wrasslin for Life Network. So remember, we've always been about community here. So we've invited some other guests to pop in and say hello while we're doing, I don't know, four plus hours of Super Bowl coverage. I don't know. Brian trying to get the hooks in. This match is brutal. The blood hit the camera, and some guy lost his drink during Rush's throwing him in the crowd. But do you notice the crowd's really quiet? Right? Because, again, this looks like a grudge match between two guys who've been feuding for months. You would never think that Brian is right now in a heated feud with your champion, because this nobody has got him gushing and looking rather average. Am I wrong? It's a good match. Just bad timing, bad booking, bad planning. MJF not happy with Roosh. You mean, am I lagging as far as what I'm seeing? Yeah, I'm always slightly behind on Wednesdays, but I kind of like to let everyone out there kind of see it, and then I speak to it. So I don't talk over your stream as much as I talk over my stream. And that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, boss. Yeah, it's a pay-per-view match, Firebird. I don't disagree that this match hasn't had some upside. I just, being a critical fan, I don't know how well it fits here right now. However, I mean, we're rolling along, and Brian trying to get to his feet, covered in blood. It's funny. Now, keep in mind, we still have more to come. We got a tag match up next, I believe, and then we got the trios title on the line as well. Interesting time. St. Louis had an NFL team, the Rams. It's a true story, Jack. I remember that. Now the channel. Now we have the St. Louis Ram. We call him CJ. Just kidding, bro. How you not going to know they said it from the beginning on Dynamite that they've been putting this storyline Danielson and MJF for 2 weeks? How you not going to know? I'm not quite sure all of that, Freebird. I apologize. However, I think I know kind of where you're going with it. And I like that they're building. They've been building the MJF thing for a while. But if you tuned in last week for the first time, you would think that MJF's mad at Takashka and Brian and Roche fucking hate each other. That's what you would think if you didn't know any better. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Come on, folks. Throw me a freaking bone here. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Watch it for the commercials. I knew it. I knew somebody was not going to let me away with that. I know what you folks are like. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Is Adam Cole booked for an interview? Actually, I haven't heard one mention of Adam Cole yet on this show tonight. So if anybody knows if he's scheduled to be here, I'm all for the information. I do not know the answer to that, Earl. Are they chanting C? So, for those who can't see AEW Dynamite, I will fill you in that we're getting a yes chant in Spanish for Roosh. This is if you have a number one contender babyface, should he be? Wow, never fucking mind. Oh shit, he kicked out. Crowd getting there a little bit, Firebird or Freebird. Firebird. The crowd was quiet a lot, so be careful with that evidence, because they're picking it up now, but we're getting a mixed crowd. And I personally feel like a mixed crowd is not always the best of things in wrestling. That knee was fucking amazing, C-Money. Sorry, I'm saying the storyline has been talked about for 2 weeks on Danielson going through different talents. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And this is a good match. I sometimes worry that the wrong guy comes out looking great. Like, But a great fucking match, Freebird. I completely agree with you. A little, like I said, a little over analyzing as far as how I feel like this is looking optically for your audience. But like, if Rush can do this to Brian, what is MJF going to do to him? You know? Oh, Dale's saying he's been. Maybe I just talk over the crowd. What? Damn. All right, I'll agree with Dale, so I'll shut up. We're getting yeses and C's. Clap. Oh my God. I feel like Brian has to lose one of these qualifying matches to break up the predictability. Mark, you can't. This is what you just did with Starks. You can't do it. You can't. If he loses on the way to MJF, how does he end up at MJF? Unless he gets cheated or it gets pulled away from him in some way, shape, or form. I really don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know, bud. I honestly think that Daniel's got to keep winning. And in matches like this, I mean, at the end of this, Brian's going to look like an absolute fucking beast because he just went through a war. I just think maybe a little too much of a war under the circumstances. That's me. I'm picky. Pick your battles. Pick your bottles. All right. AEW is still selling. Of course they are. Of course they are. Because it fucking sells a ton. That's why they're doing that. Absolutely. So, I mean, he's under contract. And as long as he's under contract, I'd sell the shit out of his stuff. Does that mean he's coming back? No. Do I think he could come back? I've advocated for him coming back from day one. It's really generally been like the people within AEW and the diehard AEW fans who are like, no, we don't want that. Yes, you do. You guys want CM Punk to return. I want CM Punk to return. And I'd rather see him go to AEW because it's compelling as shit. Like, imagine he just pops up. What if he walks back in a couple months or right before or right at the end of Revolution with him and FTR and they're here to get revenge on the Elite? Last time you guys jumped me, this time I got my buddies. Am I wrong? I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Kind of like it. The GOAT versus the Ram. Oh, by the way, I had a little bit of a pause, like a glitch, and it appears that. Are they ringing the bell? MJF is tearing Danielson apart. MJF is a great heel. Love this. I think he is. I can't deny that at all. He's one of the best heels in the game. He's young. He's talented. He's brash. I even defended him. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, he only goes. I mean, surprisingly, I had this conversation with Nick where is he just swinging at low-hanging fruit? He's going after the cheap pops. I don't think so. I think he's good. I think he's quick-witted. I think he's dialed right into who he is and who he's supposed to be. That little side tangent where they flirted with him being a babyface was stupid. He is legitimately one of the best heels you got. So I don't know why you played that game, but no, he's playing this perfectly. And I mean, you got a bloody, messy Brian needing security to get MJF, the heel champion, off him. Well done. Well done. There you go. Punk will be with FTR. Steve G, seen it my way. Punk with Joe Deering is it up in AEW would be fun. All right. I don't know. Not the first name that came to mind, Earl, but okay. Joe's good. We have, he had some health issues, I do believe. Summer of Punk has to happen. That depends who you ask. Remember, Jericho apparently on the record of, I'm not letting that happen. Because Jericho wants to be the best star, the biggest star, the top guy. And that's why guys like Jericho are dangerous for a company. They're dangerous for a team. If somebody wants to get over by pulling other people under, never helps anybody. If you're going to rise to the occasion, if Jericho's going to, get into the gym a whole ton and get to a next level and find some second gear in life, that 51, 52, great. But that's all. Jericho's terrified that Punk comes back in. And I'm sure he was pissed off when Punk came in the first time. Oh, well, that sucks. They're singing his song now. Come on now. You know it's true. Punk and FTR returns at Double or Nothing and go after the Elite. I'm okay with that. I think you turn it into money. I think if Tony can't find a way to turn everything that happened with the Bucks and that into money. I mean, listen, I would love to find out one day that Punk went in the back and was like, guys, I just blew my fucking trap. I'm out for months. Let's do this. I'm going to go out there and tell everyone you guys are dicks. And then we're going to get in a fight and nobody will be able to prove it. We'll just talk about it like it happened. Then we'll have a fake investigation. When I come back from this, people will go nuts. Maybe. Am I wishful thinking? Am I hoping that people are more creative and tricky than we give them credit for? Maybe. But, I mean, it's not a bad move. They're like shit. But it could just be a fight that ends up with Punk never wrestling again, or Punk never wrestling for AEW again. And to me, that's bad for business. If anybody doesn't realize, Jericho main evented how many Dynamites in a row, and how many of Dale, you love the ratings. How many times was Jericho in the main event and over 1 million people tuned in to see it? I'd love to know that stat. I have a feeling it's probably 0-4 or whatever it was. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of faith in it. By the way, we got the Impractical Jokers talking to Tony Schiavone. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the Impractical Jokers? I like them. Let's go. I give them thumbs up. If there was a fight, I do think it was all blown out of proportion, and only one who really did anything wrong was Ace Steel. I think it was blown out of proportion. 1, 2. If the stories that were reported are true, Ace Steel, to me, wasn't the only person that did something wrong. And in fact, I actually let Ace Steel off the hook a little bit. If the reports of Punk was in his dressing room, the Bucks came down and aggressively entered the dressing room upset, and a fight broke out, and then Steel, who wasn't in the dressing room, realizes his buddy's under a dog pile. Because remember, it wasn't 3 people that went to the dressing room. It was approximately 6 or 7. So Ace Steel runs over and starts throwing chairs. Kenny grabs the dog and puts it in a headlock. Yeah, it's chaos. But your EVPs can't burst in the dressing room. Your EVPs can't aggressively address the situation. Everyone making the comment of, well, Punk threw the first punch. I used to argue with our little buddy Will, who pops in once in a while. Well, Punk threw the first punch. So what? You burst into my dressing room and you catch a punch. That's on you. If you go and act like you want to fight, be prepared. Wow, speaking of fighting. Sorry, folks. Your throat just said enough talking. Speaking of the Devils, we have the Elite coming out now. All right. Much better. Lo. All right, we're good to go. Yeah, no, I mean, getting hit with the first punch doesn't mean you're innocent. The EVPs made some bad decisions too. I think everybody, when a fucking brawl breaks out, there's nobody off free. Punk shouldn't have did what he did at the press conference. Probably threw the first punch, which, I mean, generally you shouldn't throw the first punch. But if you feel threatened, if a group of men are standing over you, I mean, that's one of the worst things you could do to a person. If someone's sitting down and you stand over them, you're almost asking for a fight to break out. So I don't think Ace Steel was the only one in the wrong. I don't. And the weird thing is, we didn't even know Ace Steel was in the company. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a work. Because Ace Steel wasn't around, and then he showed up, and then he got fired. Part of this, and I'm like, that's awfully fishy. So here we go. Get your predictions in, and why is it the Elite? Got the Elite. Good call. I knew you would, Dale. Smart man, smart man. The stuff with the dog makes me think that this is where it started. Yeah, I think, they came to talk. Nick, being who he is, was probably more aggressive and was trying to be backed off by the guys. Yeah, I could see Nick being mouthy and a little like, how dare you? And I could see Punk standing up and just drilling him right in the mouth, saying, fuck you. I have no time for this. Kind of one of those respect your elder moments. And I get it. If Nick was running his mouth and wasn't expecting to get bopped in the lips, you go down hard when you don't see it coming. So, and then a melee breaks out, then someone throws a chair, and then, it's not good. It's just bad for business. You hear about, Andrade and Sammy, Eddie and Sammy, Swerve. Who did Swerve recently get in a scuffle with as well? Who was it? But I mean, that's the problem. Like, if you're trying to run a good business, I mean, it's a rough shout. My bad, Kaplan. Okay, wait, what did you yell at me? Hello, everyone. What's up, Real Stone? Welcome, 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 welcome. Real Stone Cutter, I like it. Spot Monkeys. Listen, I listen to Dax. I listen to his podcast, FTR. I listen to his podcast. I respect Dax Harwood as a man, as a wrestler. I know he's got his critics out there, but I appreciate this guy. I appreciate his approach. I appreciate his attitude. I appreciate his outlook on life. I've gone through similar circumstances that he has, so hearing him talk about it publicly is awesome. And Dave, YouTube blocked your last comment, and I'm not answering that. And Dave knows what he did, folks. Swerve got in a scuffle. Fact checkers, who did Swerve get in a pushing match with? But now I completely forgot between Dave's comment and Swerve. Got Elite for the win. Where are we going with this? It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Completely got distracted. People act like fighting isn't a natural human instinct. I think it was all blown way out of proportion, and CM Punk took advantage of the situation to get away from a flaming barrel. The spot monkey thing. That's where I was going with that, and I'll tie that back into this real quick. And by the way, we got the Elite in a match. If you haven't made your prediction and told me you're picking the Elite, but right now Kenny is in control of the injured Martin. Oh, all right. But back to the point about all of this with Punk and such. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe he pulled an Andrade and was like, this is fucked. And I can't handle the nepotism. I can't handle the politics and the bullshit and the whispering and the Dave Meltzers of the world. And just bapped him right in the mouth. Said, dude, I had enough. Could have been his out. He's a smart man. He knew who he was punching. He knew that there was going to be ramifications. No matter who was wrong, you don't get away with punching an EVP of any company. Not usually, anyway. Holy fuck, this is annoying. So I think some people just went into commercial. My feed continued on. So if you are in a commercial, I will keep you updated on what's going on in the action. But yeah, back to Dax listen, I shit on the Young Bucks all the time. I don't like their characters. I don't like their attitudes. I don't like the way they look. They just have smackable faces, which I mean, technically makes them good heels, except they act like idiots instead of heels. They don't know any better. They're not trained any better. They don't understand. They're really good at their spots. However, I just listened to Dax talk about the Young Bucks being highly talented in the ring, that, he felt like when they had their match at Full Gear, they sold well. They told a story well. Now, my argument is FTR does that with everybody. You put FTR in the ring with anybody, they generally bring the best out because they force all your natural instincts and your usual patterns, they take that away and they slow it down. And Dax is very cerebral about what he puts together. So I give him credit. Are they spot monkeys? Yes. Would they be better off if they could tell a better story amongst all the tricks? Yes. Do they care? No. Why? The billionaires paying them, and they think they're the shit. What did you get flagged now, Dave? Yeah, I'll take that one. That one's good. Young Bucks and Kenny for the win. That totally makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. And I lost my footage. Folks in the crowd, keep me up to date. I lost my shit for a second. But yes, we are rolling along. It is going. If you're just tuning in, I think some of you guys might be on a commercial break. My stream did not actually give me a commercial, so thank you. But all that being said, do not forget, folks, like, subscribe, share, be a part of the family, share the Wrasslin news with everybody. I almost said that funny. Wrasslin for Life Network with everybody out there. Do not forget, we cover it all. If news pops off, we jump on and cover it. If something's going on, like a show at 3 a.m, we'll be here covering it. We'll cover UFC. We're gonna do the Super Bowl. We might have other surprises up our sleeve. I know Big Nick might have some plans for Tuesdays, but we'll talk about that later. And yeah, we got things rolling. We got more interviews coming your way. We have Luna Havoc here tomorrow for a watch along of Impact, and then the Dynamic Duel will be back on Friday to kill it. And we're looking forward to it, folks. It's been a real fun time. We just passed 1.3. We're putting up big numbers. We're really happy about that. And we greatly appreciate everyone for joining us. Tell all your friends, if you're on a group chat, if you're in a Facebook group, if you're on Reddit, I don't give a fuck where you are, Discord, just drop our link. Let people know what's up. We are the alternative commentary to all this wrestling, and nobody does it the way we do. And yes, C Money, we will also be here for the Super J Cup. And we're looking forward to it. What else we got? I want to see the House of Black versus the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega and the Trios champion for the Trios championship at Revolution. Yes, but I want to see the House of Black go over because the House of Black weren't doing shit. They, 2/3 of them took a sabbatical, and then they came back, and we were like, yes, they're back, and did shit with them again. So someone help me understand what I'm missing in this whole dynamic. You bring them in, you give them a really cool entrance, you give them some friends, and then you don't use them. Why? Why are they not being used? Anybody? See, generally, so what should be happening, in my humble opinion? You want to build us, you want to convince me that you guys need a trios division? What I believe should be happening is very simple. The Young Bucks and, Kenny are having matches like this, and they're winning. And while that's happening, at some point on the other show or earlier in this show, the House of Black are picking up W's against other trios teams. And they're like, oh, instead, they don't do shit, and then they come out of left field. However, if the House of Black face the Elite, House of Black needs the win. They need the W. They need to go over. They need to matter at some point. Boss Monster dropping a little bit of a fax. Top Flight and the Elite are going all out to risk moves. Yeah, you knew they were going to. And by the way, this is crazy pace right now. And where's my buddy? There he is. I knew. AR Fox is on fire. Running around like a madman, folks. You knew what we were going to get. Another banger. So, Freebird. I keep calling you Firebird because you put fire in your message. Freebird is definitely feeling dynamite tonight. I like it. All right, let's see what Keyshawn said before I see what the answer is. What did you think about the Lakers trade? I don't know. Not much. I think Russell Westbrook got screwed. He doesn't get enough credit. And the Lakers are still... The problem with Westbrook is he can't seem to find a way to fit with a team. And that's the thing. You guys can be as good as you want. You can get a big head, a big ego. But if you can't work with your group, it means not very much. So generally, that's why people move on. LeBron can sport. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I agree with that. MJF went too far into that drive. I'm curious why you think that. I mean, what made it too far? Because I want the realism. I want too far in wrestling. I don't want kid gloves. I want them to talk like adults and go too far, push an envelope, show up with a gun. No, I'm kidding about that part. I'm kidding about that part that happened in wrestling once. It was a bad idea. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean. Realistically, I don't know. What made that too far for you? Because personally, I think wrestling lacks some of it. What I think too far is two of our matches, there was blood everywhere. I think that's kind of unnecessary. There you go. All right, Keyshawn throwing it off. Okay. House of Black should have had a brief program with Death Triangle after the series. Oh no, Dave. They as you can see, we haven't seen Death Triangle since that 7-match series. We won't. You need to get they need to stay away from each other for a while. They really do. And at this point, I would much rather what happened. Y'all remember the press conferences before AEW kicked off? Do you guys remember those early press conferences? AEW will have the best tag team division in the world ever. We are going to cement this as a show that puts tag team wrestling on display. What happened? What happened to the tag team division? Do you remember we get 3 or 4 solid tag team matches in one night? It doesn't happen anymore. What happened? Why did that happen? I have some theories. And again, it's not very, what's the word? It doesn't reflect the Young Bucks in a very positive way, but I do feel like they're a factor. Much like the women's division and Kenny. It's interesting. This match is good. That's CJ's line. But yes. Back to the match. I don't see the problem with the tag division. Earl, is it good? Right now, we got the Acclaim going up against fucking the Ass Boys. The Acclaimed are over. Where's FTR? Oh, they took a sabbatical. And I still don't care what anyone says. This is an orchestrated sabbatical one way or the other. And what? Who's next? Who's after the Ass Boys? Who challenges the Acclaimed? Who's in a program with the Acclaimed after the Ass Boys? Who? When was the last time you seen a good tag match that didn't involve the core group? I don't know. And listen, I'm picky. I'm a huge tag wrestling fan. Growing up, and it still reigns true, I love good tag team wrestling. I really, really do. So that's my beef, is where is the tag team division right now? All right, look. I agree with Mark. We've lost it. Yes, the match is on fire. Everybody running around crazy. Everybody up and then down, up and then down. Pause. Have Butch and the Blade go to the Acclaim. Yes, but I agree, Larry. So if you're planning on having Butcher and the Blade go after the Acclaimed or whoever, I don't care who, they should be consistently being put in matches and put in spots where you notice them. Oh shit, they won again? Give them a squash match. Give them another squash match. Then give them a relatively easy win over a lesser team. Put Serpentico and Luther out there. Do something, but let them win. Let them win. And then when they build up wins, when they decide, hey, Bucks, we want that title, then it's nerve-wracking. Oh shit, these guys have been beating everybody. The Bucks are in trouble. No, not the Bucks, the Acclaim, sorry. Same thing with the trios. Build towards it. Don't just drop things out of left field. Work towards it. You know that you're building towards that angle. The fans don't know. We don't know if we tune every week. Oh, there's Hobbs. Look at Hobbs go. Another win for Hobbs. Hobbs looks like a badass. And then one night he shows up and says, I want the TNT title. Fucking excellent. This guy's a killer. I like it. Let's go. That's what I want. That's how I see it. That's how I would put it together. I prefer tag teams to singles. I don't know if preferred's the right word, but definitely, yeah. I don't know if it's I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say preferred, but I really a lot of people are like, I prefer the singles, um, in a lot of cases, and the booking emphasizes singles. But man, when tag team division is good, I mean, and I hate going back all the time, but when you had those heydays where it was a killer's row of tag teams, in the WWE and even outside of the WWE, there was good tag teams where they were legitimately tag teams. That's why I like, when you have guys like FTR who are true to, yeah, Dax gets the odd singles match here or there, and everyone appreciates what Dax can do as a wrestler. But at the end of the day, they're true to who they are as a tag team. Being a tag team is important. And sorry, folks, we did have a finish to that match. My shit, it was just taking a second to tell me about it, but KJ, you booking tag matches better than TK. Like I said, no disrespect to TK, but him and I had the same resume. When you looked at my resume, it did not say wrestling booker, it did not say producer, it did not say anything else. And so did Tony's. So that's it. So, and it's not a knock on him. Listen, man, life gave you the luxury of being able to have this situation in this. I can't hate on you for your dad's hustle. Like, it is what it is. It's nothing but love in that regard. So he's trying, and we're watching mistakes. I think as fans, we get frustrated because we know that there's people around him. Like, you had Regal there. You have Jerry Lynn. You have, well, I don't know if Jeff Jarrett's a good fucking answer, but you just see the bad booking. You're like, there's people in that building that know better. That's, hey! We hear from Mark Briscoe on Friday. Yes, tune in Friday, folks. SmackDown, then Mark Briscoe. Now we're heading into the main event tonight. I got a question for everybody out there. This is a good question, by the way. How do you feel about, now I said, I want you guys to highlight the tag team division. Here they go. Main event. I got what I asked for. But do you feel like the tag team match is in a bit of a tough spot? Like, they got to deliver tonight. They got to give us a really good fucking match, because we just had a trios match that was fucking insane. So you put the trios over in an insane match where it was just everywhere. And now you got to follow it up with a tag match. That's interesting booking. And then you look at the other two positions where, we already had a good MJF match. The crowd was, this is awesome. Takeshita delivered. Roosh and Brian was good. A bloody mess. How the fuck do we end this? Ooh. Whew. It is, right? And we said that before. Like, when they were doing the 7-match series, Money, you run into the risk, and they did it. The Bucks love going on first and doing everything. And then the next match, the fans sit on their hands because they're exhausted and they've already seen everything. How do you impress me if the last match was jumping off the top of the fucking cage, and then here you are, it's tough sometimes. And what was it? I think it was like match 3 or 4 of the series where I know Nick and I were very vocal about, like, dude, and they killed the crowd the whole night. The crowd never came back that particular night. When is Elimination Chamber? Elimination Chamber is in a couple weeks. Elimination Chamber is February 18th. Next weekend. Fuck. That's so funny. Yes. So not this weekend. Next weekend, we will be here for Elimination Chamber. Yep, it's true. I have it on the calendar, folks. Yes, we hear from Mark Briscoe, and I mean, I really think that Mark Briscoe, just give him a run, like, give him a belt, like, give him a run, let him be a badass. I honestly, like, let's stop fucking around with Wardlow and Joe and shit. Give Briscoe that, those championships, or send him after Cesaro. Briscoe and Cesaro have a history. Briscoe and Cesaro have been in the ring before many times. They had one of the most, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most memorable rivalries, if not one of the most memorable tag rivalries at minimum in the Ring of Honor history. So if Mark goes after Cesaro, sorry, Claudio, I'm giving that belt to Mark because right now eyes are on Mark and it's a compelling story. And if you do it well, if you write it proper, it will be a very touching moment for that guy to win the strap, especially the Ring of Honor strap. That's what I would do. And I think other people have thought that. I don't want to act like a fucking genius on this one. Literally, I think that you really have a great opportunity here. And they always say, like, out of tragedy comes the greatest of moments. And I think that could reign true on this one. Obviously, devastating and heartbreaking. There you go. Absolutely, Jay, absolutely missed. And everybody talks about Mark being kind of underrated, and I think this is an opportunity for him to really do something. And again, if you don't want him necessarily, like, I'd be completely happy with him being the TNT champion or the TNT champion and the TV champion. But if you really want to make that wave matter, if you really want to kind of make it like a holy shit all day long, shoot you down like a Chinese. I'm not saying it. You know where I was going with that. I can't say it. YouTube flagged me and fuck up my algorithm. Probably for that too, actually. All right. So and Bowens. I know we talk about Castro a lot. Bowens is great, guys. Don't sleep on Bowens. The Acclaimed have arrived. Get your predictions in. Let us know who is taking the main event tonight. Who's going to win? Who's going home champion? The Acclaimed or the Guns? And I'm telling you right now, I really think that Billy Gunn's going to turn on the Acclaimed. If the Guns with Billy leave the building with the belts tonight, I'm going to be floored. Dale's disagreeing with me. He's got the Acclaimed. Guns for the win. Guns for the win. The Acclaimed have arrived. I don't know if that counts as a vote. FTR come back for them is right here. But I mean, the problem with what happened in AEW with FTR is you just never got your payoffs that you wanted. I, like many of us, didn't like how everything played out. And I don't give a shit when anybody says Meltzer or anybody else. The Young Bucks ducked FTR like a motherfucker. They got out of the fucking way and they handed that belt off and they wouldn't fucking take the match because FTR was more over. And that's where I said sometimes, the wrong people in the wrong position can hurt your company because Young Bucks FTR 3 would have been a fucking barn burner and people wanted it. But the Bucks needed to go over or they couldn't do it. They didn't want to admit that they weren't as good as FTR, and they're not. Period. Dale, maybe not yet. Billy Gunn is ringside. Is not at ringside. Oh, did he abstain? Yeah, let's give it a minute. Give it a minute. That's where the swerve comes in, right? No, I'm not going to get involved. And then he comes out and then surprises everybody. Oh, I don't know, folks. I don't know if I like it. I don't know. But it's been a fucking hell of a night. And do keep in mind, if you're watching right now, we will take a rating out of 10 at the end of the show. I want to know how the fans feel. Every show we do it, and we do it because we want to know. We want to see how people feel. I know some of y'all are crazy out there and love throwing around 10s, though. Slap's not good. Yeah, fuck that. Get out of here. I'm shocked we haven't seen Jarrett this week. Scissor Me Timbers on Bowens. That is an amazing wrestling move name. I give him all the kind of points on that for sure. Scissor Me Timbers? That's a fucking t-shirt. Come on. Dale's got the Acclaimed. I already told you that, though. Mike's got the Acclaimed. Oh, we're kind of getting a little split here on the vote. Justin, very possible. Call me Larry. KJ, the buck, yeah, it's no, they're not. Funny, Steve. Funny. But no, Listen, I give them credit where it's due, but I think what fucks it up for the Bucks is when the Bucks were in New Japan and such, and they were with Bullet Club. I'd catch them. I wouldn't catch them all the time. When I would catch them, I'd be like, "Whoa, what the fuck's going on?" Or I would check into Ring of Honor, and I'd be like, "Wow, like this match is crazy." But it was a spot match. But it was amazing when you caught it. You're like, "Oh, these guys do a lot of cool shit." And listen, the elite in New Japan. I mean, some of the tandem offense and like you know the you know the rapid succession they would hit moves, outstanding. But realistically, guys, when they got to AEW, they were on easy street. That's the truth, right? Everyone's, oh, they risked everything. No, no. Tony did it. Tony did very well, and they were in a good position, and they still are. But I think it put them in cruise control. And we talked about this with Kenny, watching him fight Will. We watched him fight Will Ospreay, and that was a different Kenny Omega. When he went back to Japan, he put his wrestling boots back on, and he fucking delivered. I've been very critical of Kenny's AEW run, and that Kenny that showed up to fight Will Ospreay and beat him was a different Kenny Omega than we get on a weekly basis here at AEW, because he doesn't have to do shit for AEW. Cha-ching. It's not going to matter. It's not going to change. The people that love him, the people that hate him, and he's going to get paid. He don't give a shit. When he goes over to Japan, well, that was his bread and butter, and that means something to his heart. And he put his heart into it. I'll give him credit. I don't know, Dave. Right now, the Guns are in control. And what a slap by Caster. I think the Elite are being too careful in AEW. There you go. Kind of, I agree. I think so. I mean, like even Kenny as champion, they're all, he's the belt collector and that. That doesn't really overly impress me under the circumstances. Like once upon a time, if you were the belt holder, you were like, oh man, the flagship of the company. This guy earned it. He had to go through these trials and tribulations, and he got himself over. Nowadays, it can be a little more arbitrary, right? Like we're gonna say, Kenny's gonna win the Impact belt. All right, that's all right. Doesn't mean as much as it used to in that regard. But yeah, I think they're being a little too careful, but they don't have to. You know what I mean? It's like when you look back at when we talk about like development ball or AAA baseball or the minor leagues in hockey or anything like that, college football. We always talk about those games being so much more intense and so what's the word? Everyone there is driven because everyone's trying to make their bank. Everyone wants their paycheck. Everybody wants to make their money, and they want to get to the show. So everyone's, digging in, giving all they have. Then they get into that comfortable contract. We see it with athletes all the time. Oh, I'm making, 100 million a year for the next, 10 years. Well, why? Well, what do I got to do? And I think that's a little bit of what happened. Play it safe, don't even, yeah, I think it plays into everything. I think the money is a factor. I think when you're on cruise control, and I think sometimes when you're making all your own decisions, it's a problem, right? Some people do need a filter. Some people do need people to say, no, don't do that. That's not good. By the way, yeah, I mean, Bowen is battering the shit. Oh, I like Bowens a lot. I'm a big fan of what Bowens brings to the table. What do you think about MJF acknowledging Liv Morgan on his promo tonight? It is what it is. It's kind of his shtick at this point. I don't think everybody should do it because he does it. Oh! Faymaster. Now, does the crowd feel a little flat? Dale, crowd out there right now, let me know what you think. Does the crowd feel a little flat during this? We just saw a big Faymaster. I didn't catch a big pop, but I am yelling at a microphone, so maybe I'm missing it. Now, all four athletes are down. A bit of an applause from the crowd. But if you're watching louder than I am, let me know how you feel about the crowd right now. Did we burn them out? Did you bury your tag team division because you're not in it anymore? Eesh. Crowd trying to be loud. Okay. They seem to be coming up a little, Dale. I'll give you that. Yeah, I don't know if wow, Bowen's just what a ref bump. What a ref bump. Thanks, Steve. We finally agree, Steve. See? We can disagree and then come back together to agree on hating the Bucks. Here comes Scissors. Scissor Daddy. Fucking hell. Here comes Billy Gunn. Yeah, here's the moment we're all expecting. He's standing over Bowens. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, no. Not like Daddy says. Oh, Colton with the belt on Billy, so we were wrong. Crowd trying hard to be loud. Greetings, artist. Welcome back. Greetings. That was the context of Liv Morgan references because Seth Rollins acknowledged Daniel Bryan. There you go. Both men swinging. Billy Gunn. Yep. We'll get to that after, Damien. This one's not done yet. Bowens hits the arrival. No ref. Now what's happening? This is now the angle I thought was playing out is not playing out. So a nice little bait and switch here. The ref is just absolutely noodled at this point. It seems as if the Bucks' best effort in AEW were when the story was about putting someone else over to me. But again, it was not like a whole story, right? I mean, to me, the best the Bucks gave us was putting Lucha Bros over. And as a big fan of the Lucha Bros, I give them kudos for that. Like, I mean, it was a steel cage, so I expect chaos. People are like, hey, it's just spots. It's a steel cage match. Give me spots. It's my straight up one-on-ones I'm getting mad about. Roll up! No way. Without cheating. Without the swerve. Like, they kind of cheated, but without the swerve. Why was this not earlier in the night? There you go. Fucking. No one can. The place is fucking. Turn your TVs up. You can hear a fucking mouse take a fucking fart right now. Excuse my language and my crudeness, but. The fucking Gun Boys were trapped on Dark for a year. They were fucking filler. They were seat fillers. All right, where's Freebird? We got to talk. Now we're going to get a rematch and they'll get it back, probably. But what the fuck just happened? That's a weird note. Why would you not end the night with the Trios champion, your EVPs? Why would they not close the show? Like, is this how it's going to be? What a good night of wrestling, though. I will say it was a good night. I can't blemish just because I didn't like how they ended it, but that is weird. That is odd. That is confusing. Without the swerve. Yeah. And on the stream, Freebird. Yeah, no kidding. But see, to me, the guns don't have enough heat for this moment. Because what should be happening right now is people lose their fucking mind, start throwing cups and shit. Like, no, not. The guns, the bullshit chant isn't like, see, they got over KJ. The crowd's chanting bullshit. No, right now, that bullshit chant is directed at the man that booked the show. Yeah, look, right away, Excalibur. This is not the end of the story. No shit, Excalibur. Better fucking not be. Woo! Can you believe this shit? That's why part of me thought like they clearly went short because now the Acclaim's music coming back on, fucking Excalibur doing everything. Sounds like me trying to cut a promo. Just so Mark Briscoe will be on Rampage Friday. Keep the straps warm for FTR at Revolution. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I really don't. Flat ending. Should have started the show. Yeah, if you're going to have that move, if you're going to have that go down that way, it can't be the finale. And actually, you could have put it, just switch them in the Bucks. That's it. It would have been perfect. Right? You end the night with an absolute fucking train wreck with chaos. And the Bucks, who are a crowd favorite amongst the AEW loyalists, are going to be thrilled, right? Oh, look, the Elite, a big trios win. That's how you end the night with, the super kick party in the ring. It pisses people like me off who are like, oh, fuck. But I was into the match. So that's the difference. If you're going to have the swerve, if you're going to have that loss play out the way it did, I mean, that was a fucking horrendous end of that show. Right, that was not a good way to say goodnight. I was worried following up the match as it was a problem, but the ending of that just fucking buried it. Shit, I'm struggling to find the words right at this moment about how the hell did we get there? I don't know, guys. Flat ending, absolutely. There you go. FTR to WWE to flank Cody Rhodes' title run. Woo! Interesting, smile mark. I don't know. There you go. I agree with a lot of what I'm reading right now. Acclaimed match should have ended the first hour. Perfect. Right, but again, it's not a bad shout, Larry, because you end that first hour with a fucking, oh my God, upset. And then people start talking. Yo, bro, did you hear this? People on Twitter. And then people start tuning in. And then if you have something to start your first hour or your second hour really well, like Bryan Danielson and Roosh, especially Bryan Danielson being who Bryan Danielson is, when people start tweeting about, holy shit, the fucking ass boys just won the titles, you're going to, oh shit, Bryan's in the ring. Oh, is he fighting? Is that Roosh guy? Here we go. Let's go. That's how I book it. That's the way I would have made it work. And then you have succession. And then you let the EVPs end the night. Why would they go before that match? Their match was more exciting and had a more exciting finish that was more palatable to the crowd that was watching. So why would you do your own show a disservice? You put the show together. You thought about it. You passed it around to your friends, and this is the problem when you don't have the right people around you, because everybody just gives you a thumbs up. And if you have nothing but yes people around you, you can never figure shit out or get anywhere with shit. So with all that rambling and complaining out of the way, if you were tuning in right now, give me a rating out of 10. Just drop it in the chat. I want to know what the fans thought of tonight. Did the ending hurt the show enough that you're willing to peel back some points? Tony Khan booked the show like Vince McMahon did back in the day. Wow. Yeah, I mean, see, Vince is an interesting cookie because once upon a time, Vince had his shit together and understood where the key points were and how he wanted things to be. You don't want to send your crowd home quiet. Like, when you're leaving, like, it's almost like after, like, if you go to a home game for your favorite team and they lose, and everyone just kind of moseys out of the facility quietly. It's this awkward march. And that you never want to send your crowd home like that. And that doesn't mean the baby faces always win. I'm all for an upset. Perfect example is what I saw on Friday with SmackDown. When Roman Reigns was in the ring with the Bloodline and he had just told Sammy exactly what he thought of him in the situation, the crowd lost their mind. So as you're leaving the air, the crowd's just pissed. And as they're leaving, they're pissed. And as we're sitting here reviewing the show, we're pissed because the heel got over. It's like the old NWO days when they were throwing cups and glass bottles into the ring because they were pissed off. But you went off the air feeling an emotion. Going off the air not feeling anything is a problem for fans, for a brand that's trying to grow, for a company that wants to compete. Whew, I don't know. Bad ending. Good show. Super kick party. Can't do it. Voice won't go there. James Beavers, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, sir. Good to see you. 6 out of 10, says Dale. Fair enough. I'll stay with my original 7.5. Fair enough. 6 for Damien. From the clipboard champ to the gold gun club took that leap. Yeah, they took a leap, all right. They took a fucking leap in a big way. My problem is, like, why didn't you just go with the fucking Billy Gunn swerve then? Why wouldn't you just have, like, if Billy Gunn turns on the Acclaim now, it looks stupid. It doesn't make sense. Like, if he helps them retain the title, that's dumb. That's bad writing. That's bad booking. I think this would have been better, and I would have been more okay with it if the show ended with Billy Gunn standing between his two sons and the crowd just booing them because he just ruined Scissor Me Daddy. That's how you do it. You have a big fucking gimmick that's really over, and then you just take it away. And that's what we remember, right? Case in point, DIY. There's a great example. Everyone loved it. Everybody was behind it, and they just took it away in a blink, and nobody saw the takeaway coming. So the fact that Billy came out, helped the Acclaimed, and they still lost, shit. That's interesting writing. That's interesting booking. Danielson Rush should have started the second hour. I agree. I'm with you. I said the exact same thing, Larry. 100%. If we're being hypercritical about the show, as fans, you had a lot of good pieces in place. And we've said this before with Tony. He kind of, is it just inexperience? Is it not understanding the audience? I'm perfectly fine with I'm shocked. I think it's a bad move, a bad timed move. But fine, the Gun Boys win it. But you can't go off the air. Like, nobody gives a fuck about the Gun Boys. Fuck, I don't think so. KJ, good job. Nice solo job, buddy. Steve G, I appreciate it. It's always fun just getting back and jumping on a solo, but I will admit, those pretty faces above my shoulder, it's not quite the same without them. It really isn't. But you all out there were gracious and kept me company. We spiked well over 40 a couple times tonight. So on a Wednesday, I'm feeling pretty good about it, but I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the wrestling banter all night long. I really do. And the end with the trios, like you said, yeah, okay, so exactly. And I won't beat it to death, guys, because I really did like Dynamite. There was other elements of Dynamite I did enjoy, so I don't want to just harp on the shit I didn't enjoy. I just feel like somebody with a little more experience or a little more understanding of storytelling would be able to take all the puzzle pieces. It's a Rubik's Cube, right? You have all your fucking colors, you put them in the right spots, or the Rubik's Cube doesn't. Even if you get close and there's 3 spots out of place, your Rubik's Cube ends up looking fucked up. And that's kind of Tony's problem, is he's got all the pieces he needs to build the puzzle. He just finds a way to kind of botch the endings or just put them in the wrong order. And it's that close. We would all be sitting here praising right now, 8, 9, 8. I know a bunch of you would have said 10 if they just kind of streamlined it better, put it together better. AEW putting out nothing but fire. King, there, see? Now, as much as I found things not to like, we got some people out there that have found lots to love. So I will not take that away from you, sir. He enjoyed it, and a lot of it was fire, King. You're not wrong, buddy. 6 out of 10 from Justin. 9.5 out of 10 from Justin. Like deja vu. James, I like the Acclaim, but that was the wrong That was wrong what they did to them. I like the Acclaimed a lot. And I remember sitting here trying to sell Nick on like the Acclaimed are getting over. They're working it out. And they got over and they blew up. The scissor thing fucking caught fire. But now is Scissor Me Daddy dead? That's that's gotta be, I don't know. Well, I'll look into it. I'll ask somebody else to look into it. But the Scissor Me merch has to be some of their top selling merch. Has to be. Crowd loved it. The crowd was into it. I mean, the Acclaimed are still going to scissor, but we lost Daddy, which sounds weird and plausible. So we'll move on. 3 out of 10, last match, and Jericho BS killed it. Now, Mike is, see, some fans are going to sour on some bad decisions. Morales says 9 out of 10. Okay, aggressive. Attitude Era was best booked era. Well, you know what? We should break this down. I'll talk to Nick. I'll talk to the boys. Maybe we do something where we kind of break some of that down because, again, I mean, sometimes we look at the past through rose-colored glasses, and you hear guys like Cornette talk about the good old days and Smoky Mountain. Go put on an episode of Smoky Mountain. Let me know. There's good wrestling, there's good angles. Don't take me wrong, I watch it all, but is it really like I understand why you don't like things moving fast because you got a lot of shit moving slow in your shows, and I can find within the first couple episodes of Smoky Mountain things that he criticizes that happen on his own show. Oh, there's a bit of a melee and no bells are ringing. No. What's happening? Oh, you overbooked this one. Be careful. 9.5. Wow. 9. The crowd was hot. I thought they dipped at the end, King. I thought we lost them at the end. I did think we lost them earlier, but I was corrected. Apparently my big mouth was just talking over the crowd. But I thought that was a quiet walk-off, dude. I don't disagree. At times they were definitely into it, 100%. Tony was feeding the birdies for a while. Jericho and order of matches. I keep my score. Larry stands by his decision. Lita ending on Raw or this? Which was worse? This. And people are going, that's WWE bias, you mark. No, I just mean Lita got a bigger pop. The crowd went home happy. And there's potential of, what comes next? Is Trish getting involved? What might happen? That's where I think it edges it out. But beyond that, now this one was, again, because you set the crowd home quiet. It's bad booking. And it doesn't matter if you think it was great. Your crowd tells you everything you need to know. If the audience leaves feeling like, that was a bit of a wet dream. Mark this. What happened already, amigo? That happened already, amigo. I said so much. I have no idea. At this point, I think the Acclaimed turns on him now. It doesn't make sense. They're the baby faces that just got screwed. Yeah, they could, turn on him as revenge, but then you'd have to, see, you kind of paint yourself in a corner. You can't really do that anymore. He just saved them or tried to save them. So turning on them makes them heels. Kind of. But if he had turned heel and then they go after him, well, that's viable and works. That's interesting. TK misses a golden opportunity once again. Yeah, Vance, that's what I feel like. It's a layup. You're going in for the layup and you fucking rim it. Like, ooh. Justin then is real. Billy stood in the ring before the Acclaimed got the belts with the guns, feuding with them 100%. Yeah, I just don't. I just think it would have been better if Billy had just come out and then picked up the belt. And you're like, oh, he's going to save them and doesn't save them. I think that's the best way to end this. That was the safest way to give the belts to the ass boys and make people care. That's what I think. What's up? Good to see you. Larry, I don't know if they would save him or if they would go off screen for a while. Yeah, I just don't see it happening as far as the way they've booked it now, right? And I mean, there's got to be a continuity to it. If you lose the continuity, then you got a bit of an issue. The King is here. Neville shuts up Anderson. I like it. I just saw this channel was live. Here to see what it's about. Well, it's about wrestling all day, every day, folks. We are here every night covering all the shows. This week, we're here 7 days. We will be back tomorrow for Impact, your alternative commentary to all the shows. It's not just me. We got some teammates kicking around as well. Friday, we got the doubleheader. Saturday, we're doing the J Cup. Session 1 in the afternoon, session 2 in the evening. And then we're even going to do, just for shits and giggles, a Super Bowl party. We'll give out some prizes. We'll give you guys a chance to win some swag. And we'll talk a little football. Nick Madden's going to show up on Sunday. I guarantee that already. I just saw this. Yeah, I read that twice. I think the Guns deserve it. It's a great match for the pay-per-view and the claim to get back. No. King, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know if you had got the Guns to the point where we're like, oh my God, they're contenders. Like, did we take them seriously going into the match? Like, oh, okay, they're really tag team contenders. I find that a little tough. Rowdy Scarlet, welcome. Normally I love AEW, but the ending was 6.75 out of 10. I appreciate that. And I get it. I 100% get it. I think I'm kind of flirting with a 7 as well. We'll see if any other ratings come in, and then I'll cap it off. Totally agree. Oh, what did I skip? What did you say? Oh, there's a lot of ones in here. I think they're trying to get the crowd to talk and get into the shock mode before they have a pay-per-view match going to get. Yeah, and I think that's where Billy Gunn would have came in tonight. Because if Billy Gunn fucks over the Acclaim tonight, then there's like the fans leave the building like, you fucking believe it? We're all here right now like, oh my God. And we're probably not as sour about how it all played out. And again, I'm not mad that the Guns won. I'll make that clear. You want to book the Guns as a winner? Fine. Did you build them up enough to where they were a real contender threat that they should have the belts right now? Probably not. I don't think people are that invested in them as heels. But what do? Now you're in this position, and I think the best thing they could have done is to have Billy turn, because then everybody's amped and everybody's focused. Like, oh shit, Billy Gunn turned. He was daddy. He was the scissor guy. What are we gonna do? And then he can come out next week and cut like, these are my kids. You're not my kids. Tough shit. I don't like you. I'm over it. I'm not gonna scissor you anymore. Go away. Pause. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Thank you for the sticker. I appreciate it. Acclaim got canned. Haven't seen wrestling get the crowd to go. Haven't seen wrestling get the crowd to go crazy. Haven't seen like ever. I don't know. I think the Guns versus the Acclaimed in the pay-per-view coming up for sure. I think so, but what do you do now? Is it just a series of arguments leading to? We still, like you said, we got 7 weeks to get there. What are the Guns and the Acclaim going to do for 7 weeks to keep us interested? I really, really hope the Acclaim don't become another example of a talent that got themselves over, and then when booking got involved, fucked it up. I really do. I love the Attitude Era, but when you get back and watch those shows, holy capola, there was a lot of Godwins and Canes and choke slamming and Taker. It wasn't all pretty. It was, the difference back then was you were so drawn into everything and the audience was so into it. Everyone as we move through history here, I just feel like, and it's not just wrestling. There's a lot of other, shows and music. Everyone's so jaded and cynical and so quick to shit on everything and want to know everything about everything. So it just takes the allure away. But yeah, not all of it was pretty. AEW just really dumb booking. At one point, Danhausen was the top selling merch before he even had merch, and they just buried that guy. He's a comedy act, but was not used proper. Yeah, I mean, Danhausen a tough show just for your reasons. He is a comedy act, but again, to me, if you're going to push Orange Cassidy because people like him, people dressed up like him for Halloween, he sells merch. Well, then Danhausen fits the bill. So why not? I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I have no idea why you do one and not the other. Do I feel like Danhausen should get a push? No. Would I have signed Danielson? Maybe not. I mean, but people like him. He's a comedy act. He sells merch. So what do I know? I was on Raw, and most of the people didn't know who Lita was. Sad to say. Oh, really? Really? All right, all right, all right. That's funny, and that's a valid point when you keep bringing back returning stars. Some fans need educated. So you do, you want to do PG-14, so your younger audience, and then bring back somebody that hasn't wrestled in 20 years. I know, Spot. Don't be so literal, folks, but you know what I mean, right? You bring back an older folk that, a 13 or 14-year-old probably doesn't know, or 12-year-old doesn't know. It's a valid point. I think the Guns have some go away heat. That's what I think. And tonight was tonight the crowd going quiet at the end and then just chanting bullshit. Again, they weren't overreacting to what happened, like booing. They weren't pissed, like, boo, this is shit. You suck. I can't believe you did that. You ripped off the baby face. You got away with it. That didn't happen. That wasn't the case. It really wasn't. It was legitimately, quiet. And then, wait a minute. This is fucking dumb. This bullshit. And you do not want the people leaving your building saying that. That's not the plan. Got that one acclaimed. Win the belts back at Revolution, I guess. Again, I don't really care. You kind of took my steam out of it. Like, to be honest, maybe you just, I don't know. I guess. Do they? Let's hope. It won't be as big, They Acclaimed winning them back against the Gun Boys at Revolution. I think the Acclaim versus the Gun Boys is a Rampage match. It's not a Revolution match, guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's not everyone keeps saying, oh, the Acclaimed and Guns, Revolution. Why? Shit. Yeah, I don't know. That isn't it for me. You have a lot of fucking tag teams kicking around. Maybe not as many as we used to think, but you have other people that could definitely step in that role and give us, oh my God, that's a Revolution match. Yeah, see, Larry says, and I'm skipping a little bit ahead there, and again, now that you did it this way, if Billy Gunn turns later, it's stupid. It's fucking dumb if you turn him after this. Once you have that, what went down tonight, you're like, well, then fuck. If you didn't like them or you were thinking backdoor anyway, you should have done it. Get it over with. Like, it does. Yeah, going back and revisiting the turn part, you sullied it. So if we get a match at Revolution, I mean, then does Billy turn and they keep the belts? But you just sullied that too. So I might be critical, but this is what you're doing to hurt yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. We all watched. We were all into it. I saw this chat all night long. Yes, let's go. What is the best match of the night in your opinion, Damien? Takashka and MJF, or Brian and Roosh, or the trios. The ending wasn't great of the last one. Anything with Jericho wasn't good. That's where it hurts this show as well. I'm going to say I enjoyed MJF and Takashka the most. Rush and Danielson, really good as well. It's neck and neck. I'm probably going to have to go back and watch them both to give a really good opinion. Yeah, you know what? I liked how MJF finished it off. I thought Takashka gave him a brawl. But here we are. Both those matches had blood. Let's be smart. She busy. She called me on. No, she busy. I was wondering if WWE was sold. If so, I was wondering if WWE was sold, and if so, who do you think it will affect? It hasn't been sold as of yet. And who will it affect? Everybody. It's going to affect fans. It's going to affect athletes. It's going to affect management. It could infect. It's going to infect. That's a terrible way to put it. It's going to affect the industry. It is a big fucking deal. The giant that was, WWE, or that is WWE, is in the process of being in other people's hands. A lot of things can change. How we get our wrestling, how we watch our wrestling, how, who's involved in the wrestling, what kind of angles are involved in the wrestling. Shit. I mean, again, I know we all make jokes that Disney's going to put Peter Pan and fucking Tinkerbell on the show, but they're not dumb. That's not going to happen. We know that. But they could definitely be like a weekly studio program from Orlando Studios. Like, I don't fucking know what we're going to do. Yeah, I don't. So time will tell. Not sold yet. How have the Ass Boys got titles before teams like Butcher and the Blade, who have been with the company since the very beginning? And I think a lot of people will have this comment, Justin, and I don't disagree. We talked about Butcher and the Blade. And again, the way they've been booked and such, not great. But remember, when they first came in, they had some really good matches. Your tag team division went to shit. Like, if the Bucks put over Private Party back in the day the way they did, and they were like, look how amazing we let those young guys go over. But where did it go? They've been fucking jobbers since. Why haven't in 3 years they amounted to champions at this point? Another team where people were like, oh, they're really good. Winning a match and letting a team win a match is not necessarily getting them over. I know Jericho tries to pull that fucking, that dog and pony show all the time, the sleight of hand. But realistically, guys, Jericho, I mean, I let Action Jobber beat me. Yeah, then you set him on fire, asshole. That's not fair. That's not getting him over. You beat him up, then you beat his friend up. And then you beat Starks again tonight. How does that angle work now? Well, Starks now wants to fight Jericho. Starks already wanted to fight Jericho. So that gauntlet match was just in the way and unnecessary. But Jericho should know better. And I believe Jericho knows better. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's busy making his stamping his legacy. And I honestly think he's harming his legacy with the last year or so of what he's doing. And all these people in that inner circle, like guys like even including guys like Dave Meltzer, who won't fucking accurately report on this shit, blows my fucking mind. Why you can't come out and say, you know what? Bandito came to AEW and he dragged around a sandbag known as Chris Jericho tonight. Fuck, just be real about it. I don't understand why it doesn't happen. It's all how they tell the story leading up to the Revolution with Billy. I completely agree, Mark. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the storytelling. It really does. What's a better tag team division? Fuck. I mean, now I'm comparing rotten apples to rotten apples. Fuck. Damien, you know what? The thing with WWE is they don't love tag team wrestling. So we got a lot of mixed match. Like, look who's going after the belt now, right? They originally, not that long ago, threw, McIntyre and Sheamus back together. Here's a tag team. Then you take now we got Ricochet and Braun. No, they're a tag team. We're the legitimate tag teams. Like, who's in the division? Mansoor and Mansei, Los Lobos, El Fantasmo. Again, but that being said, the WWE's tag division, when it is used, and I mean, when you do have the New Day going in there against, not the New Day, the Usos, and again, going against the New Day, you generally get something decent. They both have pretty shitty tag team divisions. A small nod to the Usos because they get to hang out with the champ and they look badasses and they wrestle quite a bit. The Acclaimed were over as shit, but they just lost the belt to an AEW dark team. So I don't know what to tell you. That is like comparing two rotten apples. It's a tough one. Not including Billy in the finish tonight is a head scratcher for sure. Smile, Mark. I have 100% gut feeling that Billy will turn on the Acclaimed. But what Tony doesn't realize, and I can't believe no one else doesn't realize, is you just took the fucking pop out of it. You took that, oh my God, out of it by booking it this way tonight. Sorry, Larry. But if you tune in tomorrow, you get to see Luna Havoc. Much prettier than I. So, yeah. No, but Ashley's busy. What can I do? People come and go, buddy. It's a grind. It's a commitment. Not everybody can hold that steering wheel. Jericho buried Starks now. Yeah, he buried everybody. Has anybody seen? Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not sure. Eddie Kingston might be in the House of Black, but he's not on Dynamite very often. That's for sure. Do you remember when Eddie Kingston was like the hottest guy in fucking wrestling, and his music hit and the fucking crowd would lose their mind, and he had a bad attitude? He'd walk in and tell like the cameraman to get off his ring, and like it was a completely different vibe and feel, and he was just smoking. And then you heard about his story where it was like, you know, fucking Eddie Kingston, you know, selling his gear, and he's down and out and eating old pizza, and, you know, life sucks and he doesn't know what he's going to do. And everybody falls in love with it and starts cheering for him. And Jericho goes, "Is that cheers I hear? Oh, I'll be right there." And that's what he does every time. And I'm sorry if anybody thinks I'm wrong. I see a lot of people writing stuff like, "Oh, Jericho's having a career year and Jericho's doing this and Jericho's doing that." But I've yet to see someone come on the stream and say, "KJ, you're nuts. Jericho's amazing." I've yet to have it happen. I think Impact Wrestling has the best tag team division. That's my opinion. Again, Damien, it's yeah, one shit pile against another shit pile. That's it. And the only reason I picked the WWE is because, you know, the flies on top of the division are prettier. That's about it. That's it. Really, they're obsolete and they're not really productive. I mean, we get a lot of Alpha Academy, Street Profits. See, I'd give the nod to WWE now as I say more of the names. I love the work you're all doing. Much love for holding it down tonight by yourself. Artists, thank you, thank you, thank you. We make it happen. You know, we've been through sickness and health and birthdays. Happy birthday, CJ. We've been through it all, folks, and we love doing it. And I still can't believe people like yourself show up and talk to us. And, you know, some nights it was just, especially in the beginning, it was just us shooting the shit. And 11 months later, it's blowing up, and I can't believe it. Every time we look at kind of how the night went, where, you know, it just keeps getting better and people keep showing up and giving us love. So we are immensely grateful and immensely humble. And yeah, I had a lot of fun rocking with you guys tonight. Like I said, I always enjoy having those pretty faces on the screen with me. But I will be back tomorrow with Miss Luna Havoc. I will be back Friday with the other half of the dynamic duo as we continue to roll right to WrestleMania. But yeah, no, we appreciate all the love. KJ, rotten apples to rotten oranges. No, they feel like the same thing. I get what you're saying, Larry, but it doesn't even feel like apples and oranges. It just feels like they're the same shit. Like, so aren't we being a little too critical about wrestling about now? WWE is about the spectacle, and AEW is about is WWE production, but PWG booking. The sooner we acknowledge it, it becomes no. I think. Listen, I mean, I think as fans, we have the right to be critical. It's like watching your favorite team, and even if you have a Stanley Cup winning team, or a fucking Super Bowl champion team, I guarantee there was part of the year where you're like, the coach is a fucking idiot, the manager doesn't know what he's doing, the fucking quarterback sucks. We have that right as fans to kind of go, you know, I really like what I just got, thank you, but we could do better. Welcome. Wrestling needs more teams like the Good Brothers. Great at their craft. Yeah, I agree. Great, Good Brothers. I mean, the Viking Raiders kind of got lost, but at some point they're an outstanding dynamic team. And again, I mean, you got FTR out there. I'm really looking forward to seeing them come back in the spring. Yeah, guys. I mean, we need more teams. We need more actual teams. We need more people committed to tag team wrestling. But I'm getting really long-winded. I just realized I've gone over a half hour late tonight. So Larry said it best. Good night. With all that being said, I will remind you one last time. You can go hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, let everybody you know we are the alternative commentary to all the wrestling. We do this every night, almost every night, and we don't stop, folks. We have so much fun doing this. I had a blast with everyone tonight. Dynamite, really good show. I haven't given a rating yet. I'll do that right as I'm exiting. But yes, for me, Jericho, the ending of the show, and Saraya, pull it down. I will give it a. Do I take off 1 point each? I'll go 6.5 out of 10. That's what I'll go. Not a bad show. I know some people thought it was absolute fire. I just, like I said, those are the three reasons I'm taking off points, and I'm kind of taking off an extra half a point just because you can't have your show end on a flat note like that. That's a bad move. Other than that, folks, that's all I got. Thank you for keeping me company tonight. I am KJ White. Nick and CJ and Cliff are out there. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.